Good morning, friends. Hey, I'm joining you today on my porch, and it is beautiful. I couldn't help but be out here because it is a sunny, beautiful, beautiful day. Just got back from 5K practice with the kids, and I was thinking about morning habits and how much my life has changed just from changing some things that I do on a daily basis. So let me back up. I have not always been a morning person. In fact, 20 years ago when I began my career, much of my morning was spent hitting the snooze button. And after I would hit the snooze button several times, and sometimes accidentally turn it off and be late for work, I would be rushed to get breakfast and kind of get my routine down to where I would actually get to work on time. So this went on for years, and actually I can say until about maybe 4 years ago, I really was not a morning person. I would stay up late, and I would get up as late as I could for whatever I had to do. So when I started my fitness journey, I noticed that kind of changed, because when I would work all day and try to come home and do my workout, a lot of times I would have an excuse why I couldn't do it, and it just wasn't my favorite time of day to work out right before dinner. So I started thinking, what can I change? Because at that time I was working 3 days a week, and I had to be at work by about 6:15, 6:30. So I started getting up, no joke, about 4:15, 4:30, so that I could get a 30-minute workout in, and then get showered, get some breakfast, and get to work on time. So I was thinking about that and why you need a morning routine to make life easier. So I wrote down a few things that could be part of a morning habit or morning ritual that can just set your day off in the right direction. And I was thinking about, what does that include, like, for me? So in the mornings, I'm up about 5:30, 5:45. I've done it earlier, and yet, no, I don't have to be at work at a certain time, working from home. Or if I'm subbing, I still don't have to be at work until about 8:30 if I do like a morning half day or whatever. But things that I do that just kind of get my day in the right direction are things that include reading, so some personal development. I'm going to share something I read this morning that I really enjoyed. Prayer, exercise, getting time for a shower and not being rushed in the shower, a good breakfast, a cup of coffee or tea, which, by the way, I'm drinking some decaf. I just got home from the 5K practice. I'm drinking some decaf bulletproof coffee, which I love, and so I'm thinking I should have a live one of these days on like how I make that and what I put in it. It's super simple, but it's delicious, and the fat that I get from this is going to tide me over. Yesterday I think I drank it at 8:30. It lasted me until like 12:30 before I was hungry for my shake that I had at lunch. So it's tasty, so I'd love to share that with you. But that way you can enjoy a cup of coffee or tea, make the bed, which I just can't leave the house until I've got the bed made. I don't know how you are, but I like having that done. And a daily to-do list. So those are the kinds of things that you might work on in the morning. But if you don't have time, those things almost always go by the wayside, I found. So I wanted to talk to you about some different, hi Darren, I wanted to talk to you about some different habits that really can help you, or why the morning routine really is going to help you. So 6 different things that can help you to just have a better day. So what I found was, with a morning routine and getting up early enough, I eat healthier. So I actually have time to make a healthier breakfast. I have time to sit down and actually eat it, whereas in the past I was either eating on the way to work, or here's a bad habit I got into. When I worked in Lafayette, I worked at a hospital where, I mean, no joke, you could get breakfast, and you could get a huge breakfast for under $2. So guess what I did? I got a huge breakfast, and I would, some kind of bug crawling at me. Okay, this is the problem with live. You got stuff that happens. Anyway, so I would eat, no joke, this is my breakfast, a bagel, a full bagel with butter and jelly, I believe it was, and because I'm not a cream cheese fan. Then I would have like one of those little boxes of cereal, or the bowls of cereal with milk in it, skim milk of course, and then I would have a cappuccino, a tall cappuccino that probably had 400 or 500 calories in it. Well, I gained a lot of weight in a matter of, I don't know, the first year or two of working at the hospital, and I wondered why, because I thought, well gosh, I'm not eating much fat, I'm not really eating bad foods. Gosh, I feel like I have something crawling all over me. Not eating bad foods, But what I didn't really think about at the time was how many carbs I was consuming. So that was a downfall of mine. Now I tend to focus more on the fats and the protein, especially early in the day. So that's been a good change. But again, just not eating breakfast in the car or being tempted at work. That's huge. I mean, I hear people talk about that all the time, that the foods that are in the cafeteria are what derails them. I get it. I completely get it. When I worked at the Heart Center, I gained like 10 pounds the first year, and there was always a joke that you would gain the Heart Center 10. And it was so true, because my office set out right outside the kitchen, and there was fresh baked cookies at 10, and they would bring them in. Okay, who turns down fresh baked cookies? I'm sorry. So that, and then I had a free lunch at work for a long time. Free lunch means you eat more food, kind of like the buffet type mentality. So again, if you've got more time in the morning, you can eat a healthy breakfast at home. Number 2, more energy and better self-care. So I find, believe it or not, that working out in the morning gives me so much more energy, especially more than what was happening when I was working out at 5 or 5:30 in the afternoon. Then a lot of times I was having a harder time going to sleep at night. It just wasn't winding down as easily. Getting that morning workout in early gives me energy, it sustains me through the day, and I just feel better, and I'm in a better mental place, far better mental place when I've done that versus not. So that's a huge for your mornings. Number 3, decreasing stress. So having a morning routine can decrease your stress. So no frantic mornings. I don't ever have a morning that I can think of, I can't recall in the last few years, where we've been like frantically grabbing backpacks. We're not late getting up. The kids get up early, not super early, but they get up at least an hour and a half before the bus comes on their own. I don't wake them up, and they come out and watch a little bit of TV. They have breakfast, they get dressed. We're not scrambling to get backpacks ready. I've done that the night before, and maybe I should have a live about prepping the night before, because that can really help get your morning started right. So maybe I need to do that too. But anyway, we don't have that. We're never looking for stuff at the last minute, and I think that really sets the tone for your day when you're just kind of out of sync and looking for things in the morning. Number 4, you're more productive. Taking time to plan your day and relax in the morning, hi Sherry, helps you use your time more wisely. That is so true. So when you've taken that time in the morning to kind of plan out your day and have your to-do list, whether you work full-time outside the home or you work full-time in the home, it doesn't matter. Just having a plan for your day is super helpful, and it helps you be more productive and use your time wisely. It really does. Number 5, it saves you time. So forget the scrambling. You can relax and have more time for the things you love. So when you say, oh my gosh, I'd love to have time to read, I'd love to have time to exercise, I just don't have the time, you can create the time. It's always a matter of your priorities in your life, and I found that to be so true. It was easy to say I didn't have time, but what was I really spending my time on? Facebook scrolling, email, shopping online, going shopping at I'm not a big shopper, so I don't like to just go to the mall to shop, but some people do that, or they just, I don't know, I don't even know what people do with their time, but there's something you're doing with your time, and if you tell me you don't have time to exercise, it's probably just the way you prioritize your day, and either getting up earlier or fitting some walking in at lunch. That was one thing I really started doing probably the whole time I worked at the Heart Center. I would typically, if it was nice outside, I would eat and then I would go walk almost every day. So that really was in a way to burn a few extra calories, but also it's a good way to clear my mind doing the walking. So that, I do think a morning routine saves you time. And then lastly, just it sets the tone for your day. If you, like I said earlier, if you're rushed, how does that really make your day? Your whole day just seems to kind of go down, is what I found. So I think just having a morning routine where you're getting up, so what that means to me is that means you're probably getting up at least an hour earlier than normal and spending some time, again, either in prayer or in reading or meditation, yoga, whatever you like to do to kind of start your day right. But the one thing I've read over and over is don't start your day with checking your phone first thing. Usually what I do, I'll just make sure there haven't been any missed calls or any messages, because I turn my phone like completely off. I don't have any volume on it. I turn the ringer off, so at night, I mean, I wouldn't, if somebody tried to call me in the middle of the night, I would never know, because my phone's way out in the other part of the house, which is another thing, keeping your your screens away from you, I think is very important. So not having your computer or your phone near your bed. So a book I read a while back. So I had a couple people reach out and say they ordered the organizing book yesterday. This is The Miracle Morning, probably backwards on my screen, but it is by Hal Elrod, and he's got a few different Miracle Morning books, like for network marketing. I mean, there's all kinds of them, but this is just the Miracle Morning, the not so obvious secret guarantee to transform your life before 8 a.m. This is a really good book. I will say it's a short read, so you can easily read it in a day or two. Take it and read it at lunch, whatever. I think you'll get through it pretty quickly, but there's some really good tips in here just on what the morning can do for you if you plan your day well. Okay, so I think it's a good read. And then I wanted to finish with John Maxwell. I'm in a mastermind group right now. Excuse me, I feel like I've got like hair flying in my face. I'm in a mastermind group right now, and this is the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. John Maxwell has just some of the best books out there on personal development. But what I was reading this morning that I thought this is so true for life. It says, in the chapter is on the law of trade-offs. So you've got to give up to go up, basically, is what he's talking about. But he says, often I hear people expressing the hope that things will change. At those moments, I want to tell them that the difference between where we are and where we want to be is created by the changes we are willing to make in our lives. When you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done to get it. Otherwise, you keep getting the same results. So changes to our lives always begin with the changes we are willing to make personally. That's often not easy, but to get ourselves over the hump, we need to remember that. So I think that's just so true of life. Is things aren't going to just change on their own. You have to make those changes. What can you do to make the changes positive in your life? And I think the number one thing for me started with getting up earlier and just having a good morning routine. So I wanted to share that with you today. Like I said, maybe I'll share with you guys soon about my evening routine, just what I do to kind of set my day up correctly so that I'm ready to work out in the morning, so I don't have to like grab clothes. I set those out ahead of time. I'm telling you what, maybe I need to go back inside for my lives. So I feel like I've got bugs all over me. But maybe I'll do that, and then maybe I'll share with you again like how I make my bulletproof coffee. It's decaf, so I'm not getting the caffeine, but it really does give you lots of energy as I wipe bugs off my face. So anyway, I will be talking with you guys soon. I will put that link to the book in my blog post today, and I'll be sharing that on Facebook, and I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye guys.